Lisa here, aka Crafting Diva. Thank you so much for joining me on my YouTube channel today. Hope you're all doing well. I hope you're having a wonderful day. As you can see from the title of this video, this is my project share for Hilary, who is Pink Bubble Cards here on YouTube for her alphabet challenge. And yes, super enjoying Hilary's little challenge. I'm loving every week that we get to try different items to make different type of projects to share with you all. So I really do hope you're enjoying these videos. If you're not aware, Hilary is Pink Bubble Cards here on YouTube, and she's doing a little alphabet challenge where each Wednesday she picks a different little alphabet stamp and gives us either a craft product or a prompt to make a little project with and share with you all. And yeah, as always, I will leave a link to Hilary's channel in that description box, as well as all the links to my previous videos I've done for her challenge. And last week Hilary picked out the letter I for inks. And yeah, if you are a crafter, a card maker, a mixed media artist, a scrapbooker, you know inks is such a huge topic with so many different ways in which you can incorporate ink into your projects. We've got ink pads, we've got inking pens, we've got spray ink, so many different ways to incorporate some sort of ink into the project you want to make. So for this week's video, I haven't really necessarily got a card I've made, but I've just done some little toppers that I thought I'd share with you and sort of talk to you about how I've used inks in the different ways to give different effects. So if you've been a follower of my channel for quite a while, you'll know I'm a huge Tim Holtz fan. I love his ink pads, I love his marker pens, I love his dyes and any of his products. But the main thing I love about Tim Holtz are his distress inks and his oxide inks, because they are just perfect to do so many different effects with. You've got the distress inks that are more of a sort of matte colour to them, and the oxide ones give you more sort of a chalky effect. But like I say, you can do so many different things with them, make backgrounds with them, stamp with them, vintage things up, make them more modern. And one project I like to do with my inks is use them to make my own backgrounds and colour my die cuts. So the first little topper I thought I'd share with you is this one here. What I've done here is made a scalloped die cut piece of card from just normal white cardstock. Then I've used a mix of the distress inks in the yellow tones that Tim has released, and as you can see, they blend so beautifully together. And where they are water based inks, you can spray the ink once you've blended with it, and it gives you this sort of distressed bleached out effect. So I absolutely love to do that to make my own backgrounds. Then what I've done is used a Tim Holtz wildflower die set and just cut lots of the flowers out of just plain white cardstock, and again used a whole array of the different tones of ink pads from the distress range and just blended them all together. And as you can see, you can get such beautiful blended effects by using the different tones of the same colour ink pads, and they really do make your die cuts come alive. So that is one way you can incorporate inks into a project, just by using a simple ink pad and either a blending brush or a blending sponge. You can give your die cuts and your backgrounds beautiful effects. Another technique you can do is use your ink pads in your embossing folders. You just take your ink pad, rub it onto your embossing folder and run it through your die cutting machines, and it gives you this beautiful sort of letter press effect to your cardstock. So as you can see, what I did for this design is I added the vintage photo to my embossing folder, ran it through, and all that brown ink has gone into the flat areas of the embossing folder and pushed into my cardstock, and it's give it this lovely vintage textured feel to my piece of cardstock. So such an easy technique, but gives you such a great effect. Another thing I like to do is use embossing folders. So I've used this Tim Holtz, this is a mosaic 3D embossing folder, and what this is ideal for having a mixture of inks and ink pens is you can really vintage and give your piece of cardstock that real authentic feel. So to make this, I used a piece of craft card, used it through the embossing folder, and then what I did was rubbed some vintage photo distress ink onto the top and sprayed it with water, so all that ink all blended nicely onto the craft card. Gave it a quick little blast with my heat gun, and then as I've got some of these Tim Holtz distress markers, which are the exact same ink as the ink pads but in a pen, I've added touches of the pen onto the areas of the embossing, and then again spritzed it with my water so all that colour blends together. Gave it another heat with my heat gun to dry, and then for the finishing touch I added some PVA glue all over the top. I hope it is showing, to make that all shiny so it looks like real tiles of a mosaic. So yeah, just great little things to have in your craft stash is inks, any type of inks, because lots of different brands do them. You've got water-based inks which are perfect for all these techniques, as you can spray them with water, blend with them, things like that. Also there is waterproof inks like VersaFine and VersaClear, and they are perfect for stamping if you want to do some colouring. Yeah, just so many techniques and so many different ideas with ink. Spray inks are perfect to have as well, as these are just pure inks that are watered down that you can spray into your projects, and it gives you that nice splattered sort of vintage effect easily. And again, you can mix those all together, all different colours. So yeah, just so many techniques with ink pads. I really hope this helped you understand a bit more about different things you can do with ink pads. I'd love to read any of your comments. If you've got any questions, please feel free to leave them in that comments box below, and I'll try and answer them as best as I can. Also, I'll leave some links in that description box below to Craft Stash, where you can find some of these products, i.e. the Tim Holtz inks. They might even have some of the embossing folders. I'll leave some little affiliated links down there for you. All it is it'll take you to straight to the page. You can check them out, and if you do place an order, I will get a tiny little commission. It won't cost you any more in your order. It just gives me a tiny little commission to say thank you for sharing the item. And yeah, really hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Love to read any of your comments, and I hope to see you all again soon. Bye for now.